Welcome back, my dear ones. I was just talking about the significance of new policy on education of 1986 in the context of globalization. I just told its importance by by telling about Operation Blackboard, minimum level of learning, Navodaya schools, and adult education. Now, another aspect of new educational policy of 1986 is functional literacy. It declares that the government will ensure functional literacy, or the government will work for spreading functional literacy. If you ask what functional literacy is, you have got two dimensions, so you have got two answers. The first is that make all the people able to read and write and make use of mathematics in the day-to-day life activities. Though we learn mathematics, most of the times we are not able to make use of mathematics in our life in this real sense. So functional literacy means providing the ability to read and write and make simple mathematics in the life of each and every people, regardless to whether he has got formal education or not. It's the side of functional literacy. And functional literacy has got another connotation that most of the people who are working in the field of agriculture and industry were not well educated during those times. So they did not know any sort of modern mechanisms in agriculture or modern strategies for running their industry. Actually, if they had got some idea on new trends, new machines, new strategies in agriculture and industry, they should have produced more and more products. So production is the rate of production is something related to the economic development of a country. And if you are able to export more from your country to another country, then your economic development will be faster. So the 1986 educational policy decided to provide functional literacy to the adult people. I mean, those who were indulging in agriculture and industry, by giving them some training in modern mechanisms in agriculture and modern machines, and by giving training for the people who were doing some industry or who were doing some business in modern strategies. So this is functional literacy. Actually, it's a fantastic thing, because when you make use of modern trends, modern mechanisms, or modern machines in your agriculture and industry, definitely you can produce more within a less span of time. That means you can export more to foreign countries. Again, it will bring foreign core into your country. So globalization has put forth, or globalization has made it possible for exporting more things from one country to another country. As a result of modernization, liberalization also emerged there. So if you are able to export, you can export your items without any difficulty nowadays, because after the emergence of globalization, now you can export your items faster. So providing this functional literacy was also something significant in the case of globalization. Then another thing is delinking degree from jobs. That means in the past, actually, people were able to get, had been able to get job only after completing degree. It was something difficult for them. And if you dealing degree from jobs, if you dealing job from degree, the youngsters can get appointed in factories and industries. Just by getting some training after completing their 12 years of education or 10 years of education. And see, nowadays, the multinational companies do not need middle-aged men. They need fresh hands. They need some youngsters. I mean, below 30 or below 25. So if you are giving a degree for your students, and if they complete PG, then by the time by the time they complete their education, they will reach 25. And multinational companies need dynamic and more enthusiastic youth in their companies. So if you're dealing job from degrees, and again another thing is there, if you get some youngsters in your companies, the companies in your country, production will be more. The companies which have got some youngsters as its employees will be producing more than that of another company which has got some middle-aged men as the employees. That's the difference. So by dealing in degree from job or job from degree, you can attract more youngsters to your companies, more youngsters to your industries. So it was also something important because when there are more production within a less span of time, as I mentioned earlier, you can export more because globalization has opened a vast world before you. So it was also something significant in the light of globalization, dealing in degree from jobs or dealing in job from degrees. So these are some decisions of new policy on education of 1986. So it has brought so many changes. And these changes were significant when globalization emerged. India is now an almost developed country. When there was some economic struggle, economic crisis all over the world, India could stand without shaking. It was possible because of some strategies or some people who have got education. So this policy can be considered as something significant in the context of globalization. Thank you.